You're listening to Sam Nixon in for Gail Lofthouse on BBC Radio Leeds. Now, Cancer Research UK's Race for Life and Pretty Muddy races are almost upon us, and the charity are looking for help. They need more volunteers at the races, without whom these incredible events couldn't happen. So, could you step up? Well, to tell us why you should think about throwing your hat into the ring is Mark Wood from Leeds. Now, Mark has been a volunteer at Race for Life for over 14 years, and with Mark is Nicki Embleton from Cancer Research UK. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Sam.
Nice to see you. Nicki, we met a few weeks ago. We did. I remember chatting to you earlier on about another fantastic charity raising money event that went on.
Can I come every week?
You can come every week. It's lovely to chat to you. But Nicki, let's start with you actually first. Just tell us about the work that Cancer Research UK do and the importance of these fundraising events.
The only way we're going to beat cancer is through research. And to do that, we need to raise a lot of money. We've got the most amazing people across the country doing the most cleverest things to find how to better diagnose cancer, how to better treat it, and also how to prevent it, of course. That costs a lot of money. So we're very lucky that we've got these amazing people who spend their time putting money in a tin, paddleboarding along the canals, doing things like Race for Life that enables us to raise that money to pay for that life-changing research.
Yeah. And as we mentioned here in my introduction, you're looking for volunteers for the Race for Life and Pretty Muddy, because, and like I said, these events couldn't take part if you didn't have people willing to come and help you guys out.
That's it. Race for Life is a fantastic event. We've got events going on around West Yorkshire, around the whole country. We've got thousands of people come and take part to raise money. But we can't do that without these amazing people that give their time to come and help us put that event on. So, you know, we're reliant on these people that give up a few hours one weekend or like Mark, come every week over the summer to make the people taking part have a wonderful experience, to make sure everybody's safe, but also to enjoy coming out and doing it. And it's quite fun when you get a chance to throw mud at people.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Not many times you can get away with throwing mud at people and they want more mud.
Is that one of the parts of being a volunteer? You get to just throw mud at people?
Absolutely,
That's fantastic.
And nobody should, well, people do shout, but nice. Yeah.
I love it. Well, Mark, as Nicki just mentioned there, you have been a volunteer. And as I mentioned, so I think it's 13 years you've been a volunteer.
It'll be my 13th year this year being involved with Cancer Research UK.
Unbelievable. What made you want to get involved with volunteering?
It all started purely by accident, Sam, in fairness. My wife and mother-in-law were taking part in Leeds, and as happens every year, there was that shout out on stage looking for more volunteers, and it was, might as well, I'm only going to be stood about waiting for them to finish. They probably weren't going to be the fastest. So, I took my hand in the ring and I got the perfect position of the marshal point. So, as Nicki was saying, kind of making sure everybody gets around the course safely, but encouraging them round as well. For some people, they may as well have been running a marathon and not just a walk in the park. You know, you can see those people that have undergoing treatment and things. It's clearly visible, but the determination on their faces, they're going to do it. I always remember it. My first marshal point was that final marshal point, and the finish line was next, and just encouraging them, and you can kind of see people just heart and soul into it to get across. And I think it was that kind of like, do you know what? It's a really, really good feeling. Yeah, no, I bet it is. You having that feeling of like willing someone on and then seeing the change in their face, or even the change in their pace, I suppose. Yes. It must be great. Absolutely, yeah. Because you can find people that literally dragging themselves across or supporting people in kind of wheelchairs or walking sticks and things like that. And there's always kind of, when you're on that finish line or near that finish, Nicki, there's always a story. It's so emotional with that kind of final participant where everybody's kind of just willing them and cheering them across the line. The atmosphere. We do that. The person who's coming across the finish line at the end. Yeah. We all come to the finish and they get the biggest cheer. Oh, beautiful! But I think for me, one of the nicest roles as well as a volunteer is when you hand out the medals at the end as well. Yeah. Because Race for Life, everybody that takes part gets a medal. Nice. Everybody is a winner. Lovely. Yeah, lovely.
Brilliant. And Matt, I believe more recently you've had more of a personal reason why you've wanted to carry on volunteering.
Yeah, so as I say, I've been kind of involved 13 years, or going up to 14 years this year. I've missed 2 years, Sam. So one, COVID, whereas everybody missed, and then I missed 2022 because I had my own personal cancer experience. So March 2022, I was diagnosed with bowel cancer. So I got whipped through the NHS like you would not believe, bless them, with radiotherapy, preventative chemotherapy, and then 9 hours on the operating table to have part of my bowels removed, a 3-week stint in hospital to recoup. And then I came out of hospital on the Friday, and actually we were down at the Royal Armouries the very next day for a volunteer catch-up event with the Cancer Research UK guys and the events team. And yeah, it was kind of just a perfect time to go, in fairness.
And how has it, so now when you're there volunteering, how has it changed your mindset? I would imagine you're looking at it from a very different point of view now.
Absolutely, yeah. You, beforehand, you kind of get immune to the word cancer and you kind of just focused on what you're doing and kind of encouraging people around and focusing on that. Kind of being in the event areas and you kind of listen to those messages going out to everybody, it hits home and it kind of really just reinforces that purpose as to why we do what we do. Yeah. You know, there's lots of people out there that money's tight, they can't donate to, as Nicki was saying, to kind of fundraise and donate to people, but actually they can give you time. And that's something that, you know, if everybody's, Nicki was saying, kind of a Saturday or a Sunday, you know, we're down in Temple Newsham, Saturday and Sunday next month. And if people can give their time, then that's the biggest thing, because that all our events would not happen without people giving their time, because we just simply, you know, I forgot a 5K course and a 10K course. We can't get everybody around safely without the amazing volunteers that come and support us and do that. So,
and you know what? It's a great shout as well, because there will be lots of people listening to this or watching things on the telly, and they do want to help, and they do think that like donating is the only way they can do it. But like you said, times are hard. So if you can donate your time, you can feel good about yourself that you do it. You are helping. It's not necessarily just about the funds.
That's it, and absolutely. And you know, when you know, every event that I go to, there's those faces that you see year on year on year where the volunteers just turn up. Every year religiously, whether it's just to that event or to numerous events kind of across the region, it's those same faces that, you know, those recognisable faces, and it's like a little family kind of thing. Yeah. It's such a warm, welcoming atmosphere, and I say it just pays dividends for kind of, you know, that personal satisfaction kind of thing, as daft as it sounds. You know, you've done something worthwhile.
Definitely, absolutely. Yeah, and Nicki, I forgive me, I had not heard of the Pretty Muddy races, but we were talking before we came on air, and you said it's been running for about 10 years. I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard of Cancer UK's Race for Life, but the Pretty Muddy. But just explain what that race is.
So Pretty Muddy is Race for Life with mud and obstacles.
Brilliant.
So it's not a difficult one. You know, we've got these blow up inflatables, we've got nets to crawl through, but it's all doable. Yeah. And it's funny. Yeah. And that's, you know, you go to Race for Life Pretty Muddy, all you can hear are people screaming with laughter. It's just
and that's just the volunteers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the volunteers throwing mud at everybody. But it's just such a special event. You know, I've been in the charity 24 years now. I can't imagine how many Race for Life and Pretty Muddies I've been to in that time. Every single time I go, it's like the first one. I cry, I laugh, I get spattered with mud when I'm taking pictures near the end. It's just amazing. And as Mark said, we have these amazing volunteers that come, because you get your nice yellow high-vis jacket, you get a radio.
Oh, nice.
You get pointy things. And
pointy foam fingers, musical instruments, bit of atmosphere out on course.
And it is, you know, people, when I've met people that have come for the first time, you know, after they finish, I can't believe how much they've got out of it. Because obviously they're waving and thanking people taking part, but the people taking part are also waving and thanking them because they realise what they've done.
The amount of muddy hugs you get on Pretty Muddy.
Everybody gets muddy.
In fairness, Sam, I think the easiest way of finding out and how good it is, put the 11th of May in your diary.
Yeah, 11th of May,
Yeah, we're down at Temple Newsham. It's such a great atmosphere, and the volunteers potentially go home muddier than some of the participants sometimes.
Can anybody take part?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you get involved? If people listening now, they want to get involved.
Raceforlife.org.
Yeah.
Look in there, you'll be able to find the event that suits you. So we've got the Race for Life 3, 5 and 10K at Leeds.
Yeah.
So any age, any abilities, male, female, whatever. And for Pretty Muddy, we've got the Pretty Muddy and the Pretty Muddy Kids. So if you have to be a little bit taller than just too little because to get over some of the obstacles.
Of course, yeah.
So everybody can come along and do it. You know, it's although you watched the London Marathon last week, it's not all about time.
No,
it's about doing it. It's about we get to the end, people are celebrating together. They buy our big finish board, getting the pictures taken with the "We Did It" signs, and it's such a
lines of them just crossing the finish line together, and that final 100 meters, 50 meters sprint towards the end, and ringing that bell on the finish line.
So, Sam, I think you need to come and take part in Pretty Muddy and volunteer as well.
Well, I'm worried though because you said there's a height restriction, and I'm pretty sure.
We'll sneak you into the kids one. It's absolutely fine. Don't tell the boss, but we'll sneak you in.
Brilliant. That's good to know.
Absolutely love it.
It does sound amazing, and you're so right. These events, they're so joyful. Just even listening to you guys talking about it is putting a big smile on my face, and I can picture it now. I can imagine the kind of joy of seeing yourselves and the people taking part, and it must be such a lovely thing.
It is. If we could bottle it, we'd make a fortune.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a mixture of emotions. It's so uplifting and rewarding. It's also really emotional.
Yes.
Because you're reading those back signs. Not everybody is having a good time with it.
Yeah.
But when you see people that have coming back, you know, I'm survived 5 years, I've survived 10 years, or I'm going through chemo at the moment, things like that. You know that you're on your own, but you're within this massive collection of people all there for the same reason, whether they're volunteering or taking part in the 5K or Pretty Muddy. Everybody's there together. Yeah. So people are not alone doing it.
No, and it might, do you know what, as well, there'll be obviously people who are struggling with their diagnosis or with a family member's diagnosis. So maybe going to an event like this kind of helps with that as well, because you, like you just say, you realise you're not on your own.
When you've got a friend or a member of the family going through cancer, you feel a little bit helpless. Yeah. What can I do? So a really good thing is come and do Race for Life Pretty Muddy, and you feel that you're doing something to help that person. Yeah. You know, you can physically come, give you time, come down the big mudslide at the end, do the 10K. You're making a difference, and you're doing it for that person. So you're getting your own back on cancer.
Absolutely. And Matt, you briefly talked about your time with cancer. How are you feeling at the minute?
All good. I was left with a stoma bag after my surgery. So kind of my bowel goes into my stomach and into my bag. I'm still looking for that to be reversed. Yeah. But ultimately, I had a really positive diagnosis. Which is really good, and I think, you know, if anyone's got any issues, they've got any problems, stop putting it off, go get it checked out. Early diagnosis means generally a really, really positive outcome on treatment, and I'm testament to that, because when I had my first diagnosis, you know, albeit it was, you know, it's an 8 centimetre tumour, so it's, you know, it's quite a chunky sized tumour, but they were really positive. We'd caught it early. And with the treatment, with the radiotherapy, the chemotherapy and the surgery, they were pretty much really confident of a positive outcome with that. And you know what? If Cancer Research hadn't have done their research, would I have had the same outcome? Don't know.
Brilliant. Well, that's so great to hear, and thank you for sharing your story.
Absolute pleasure.
Mark, as well. So finally, then, Nicki, if anybody does want to volunteer, because we know you need volunteers for this, where do they need to go? When is it happening?
So the events in Leeds are Saturday, the 11th of May for the Pretty Muddy, and then on the Sunday, the 12th of May for the Race for Life 3, 5 and 10K. We've also got events at Bradford Lister Park on Saturday, the 18th of May, at Wakefield, which is my local one, on Saturday, the 15th of June, and that's Pretty Muddy and Race for Life on the same day. It's a long day, but it's really good. And then at Huddersfield on Sunday, the 23rd of June, where we've got the Race for Life 5K, and just go to raceforlife.org. All the information about taking part in the event and for volunteering. There's lots of different jobs you can do during the day. It's all on there. So just go have a look. Come and join the party with us.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. So, you're listening to Sam Nixon in for Gail Lofthouse on BBC Radio Leeds. I just had a lovely chat with Nicki Embleton from Cancer Research UK and Mark Wood, who has been volunteering at the Cancer Research UK's Race for Life and Pretty Muddy races for the past 13 years. They need more volunteers taking part in the West Yorkshire Race for Life and Pretty Muddy events that are coming up. So I've got some dates for you. If you want to go along and you want to volunteer, in Leeds at Temple Newsam, there's an event on Saturday the 11th of May and Sunday the 12th of May. That's the Pretty Muddy and Pretty Muddy Kids event. In Bradford at Lister Park on Saturday the 18th of May, we've got Race for Life, the 5K and the 10K. In Wakefield in Thorns Park on Saturday the 15th of June, that's Race for Life for 5K, 10K, Pretty Muddy and Pretty Muddy Kids, so that's going to be a very busy day. And in Huddersfield in Greenhead Park on Sunday the 23rd of June is the Race for Life 5K. If you want to take part in the races or you want to apply to be a volunteer, just go to www.raceforlife.org and all the information is there.